It's great. Farming has a lot of maths. So you need to know, you need to be a budget man, a budget woman or whatever. You need to have the books. You need to keep your records and get to know how much I need to invest in and how much should I get at the end as a profit. So business, farming as a business needs a lot of records. Your books should be, you should be good at books, bookkeeping. Huh? So when you ask your questions, when you ask a question of how much should I need to start a banana farm, here is how. But generally, how much you need depends where you are. If I'm in Dar, I may need a different budget as compared when I'm in Arusha. So when I'm in Bukoba, Kagera, I may need a different budget when compared to when I'm in Mwanza. But we shall give you the general picture for you to get started and get to figure out how much you may need. But specifically when you want to start a banana farm, you can also come and consult us, and we shall come to you and get you the specific budget depending where you are. In Bukoba, for instance, to start a banana farm, you need to buy a sucker. Okay, let's start with the land. You need the land. You need the land where you want to start your farm. How many acres do you need? Depends on your money, your pocket. But in Bukoba, it's roughly, per acre is 700,000 Tanzanian shillings per acre. 700 Tanzanian shillings per acre. So you need 700 Tanzanian shillings if you say you didn't have any land. So you are buying land. You're starting from the scratch. You buy 1 acre at 700 Tanzanian shillings. Okay? And then after buying the land, you have to cultivate the land, plow the land. On Aji Farms, we have all these good services for you. We plow land, we plow fields for farmers. Per acre, it's roughly 100 Tanzanian shillings per acre. We plow for you using a tractor, or we can use bulls. It depends on your choice. And then that sums up to 800, because plowing will cost you 100,000 Tanzanian shillings, and you bought the land at 700 Tanzanian shillings. You see, this is 800,000 Tanzanian shillings already. So, and after plowing, then you need suckers, huh? You need suckers. You also on Aji Farms we sell suckers. As I pointed out earlier, we sell suckers from 2 different sources. One source is from the fields, as you can see. We sell suckers from the fields. These are the suckers ready for uprooting for your as planting materials. And each sucker from the field goes at 1,000 Tanzanian shillings. When you buy from the fields, it's much better. It's much cheaper. But then also on Aji Farms, we sell suckers from macro propagators. Today we shall not talk much about macro propagation, but understand that we have a technology where we produce suckers in numerous numbers. We produce suckers from very reliable sources because we treat the mother plants. Why should you buy from the macro propagator and not the fields? Because the macro propagator, the mother plants were treated. They were treated. So you have non-infected suckers. That's why they cost, they're a bit expensive because each sucker goes at 3,000 Tanzanian shillings. But when you buy from the field, as I've said earlier, you buy a sucker at 1,000 Tanzanian shillings. But you carry the risk of, you never know, the sucker might be infected, and you may be at a risk of losing money, or your plants not growing very well because your suckers are infected. But to make it clear, to assure you, both suckers from our macro propagator and from our fields are all okay, because the mother plant in this field was taken from the macro propagator, so there is no infection in between. So when you ask me a question where to buy plants from, I'll tell you buy from Aji Farms, because whether you buy it from the macro propagator or you buy it from the fields, all are reliable sources. Reliable sources for the planting materials, because all the mother plant in this field was treated before. And then the suckers, therefore, are non-infected. And the daughters, the generation after generation, will have no diseases. To caution you, don't just go and buy suckers from anywhere, because you never know which field you are buying from. Might be a field full of infections, and then this will not give you the right profit you're expecting. So the take-home message here is make sure you buy suckers from reliable sources. And we have the reliable sources of Nagifarms. Get back to us. I'll be mentioning the contacts later on. I said, how much do you need? So if you're planting 100 plants in an acre, and each sucker goes at 1,000 Tanzanian shillings, how much is that? How much is that? 1 million? How much do you need? If you take 1,000 Tanzanian shillings times 100, that is how much do you need? Need a calculator? 1 million, yes? You need 1 million. You take 1,000 times 100, you get 1 million. Yes?
It's 100 times.
Sorry. Okay, so you need
100,000.
100,000. Sorry.
Tanzania shilling.
Okay. I read up to. So it's 100,000 Tanzanian shillings. When you add 100 Tanzanian shillings to the available 800 Tanzanian shillings, 800,000 Tanzanian shillings, then you'll be required to have 900,000 Tanzanian shillings for both the land, buying the land, plowing the land, and buying the suckers. You need 900,000 Tanzanian shillings. Okay, so then you are done buying suckers, and you probably have the suckers on your farm. What do you do next? Planting, you know, you need the labor charge for those who should help you plant, you know, dig the hole, you know. You have to get a hole where you have to put a manual. If you have to add manual, remember you have to buy some manual. Depends where. But on Nagifarms we have manual because we keep livestock. We have cows, goats, sheep, and poultry. So we get manual from our livestock, and this is what we call livestock crop integration. You have the livestock trying to help you on the farm, and vice versa. So for you, whoever, if you don't have livestock, then you have to buy the manual. Depends where you are. But here, one bucket goes at 500 Tanzanian shillings. And so you need how many buckets per plant when you're planting? You need at least 2 buckets. Let's say 2 buckets. But you may need much more depending where you are. If your soil is not fertile, then you may need as much as 5 buckets. But if you're in a place like ours, then you need 2 buckets. 2 buckets will cost you 1,000 Tanzanian shillings. 1,000 Tanzanian shillings per plant when you're planting. So 100 plants will take you 100,000 Tanzanian shillings. You need another 100,000 Tanzanian shillings for your manual when you're planting. So when you add up to 900,000 Tanzanian shillings, that's 1 million. You need 1 million, as you may call it, 1 M, to start your farm up to the manual level. And then how much do you pay your labor? Depends on your negotiation skills and how much the labor does cost in your specific area. But here, planting, each plant costs roughly 500. So for someone to help you plant the plant, it costs you 500 Tanzanian shillings. So when you have 100 plants, then you'll need 50,000 shillings. So you need, for the labor charge, you need 50,000 Tanzanian shillings for your labor charge. When you add it to 1 million, then you have 1,050,000 Tanzanian shillings, and then you'll be done. Then you have your farm already. Your plants are there because you started. This is for those of you who have started from the scratch. You had no land at all, and then you had to plow your land. You had to buy your suckers from probably Nagifarms, the reliable source. And then you had to bring some people to help you, the labor charge. And all these sums up to 1,050,000 Tanzanian, 1,050,000 Tanzanian shillings. But this budget can go down or can go up depending where you are at. That's the maximum, say the optimum you need at least in your pocket to start a farm. 1 million. And I can guess some people do process phones which cost roughly 700,000 Tanzanian shillings. So if you have a phone that costs 700 Tanzanian shillings, it's like you are moving, you're moving around with a farm, a banana farm. Why not start a farm then? Because that banana farm can buy those phones in 1 or 2 years, can buy as many as 10 phones in 1 or 2 years after you're planted. It's better, it's a very good advice that you first invest and buy luxuries later. This is what you could get from the AGIFARMS team about the budget on banana farming. For questions and more info, kindly get back to us. We shall be mentioning our contacts later on during this video. Thank you.